ready for this? Am I ready for this? Are we good? Are you ready? One, two, three. Greetings you! My name is Isla and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a really long while.
You've been gone for 5 months.
Sweet Prince, it's gonna be okay. I'm here now. We're gonna make everything better, and I'm gonna make your dreams come true. And if your dreams are talking about this season's anime, then I'm about to make your dream a awesome reality, because that's exactly what we're gonna do in this welcome back video. We're gonna talk about the winter of 2017's best anime. And yeah, let's do that. My God. Being away has not made me any less awkward. So there's that. Yeah, spring is almost upon us. We have got the lighter nights coming in, we have got the lighter days coming in, making me wake up earlier, and that means that we have got a very exciting array of new anime coming next season. You know, it's nothing that I'm like particularly like super excited for or anything like that. But before spring begins, let's drag ourselves back to the deep dark depths of the winter time and talk about the anime that I thought was good, that I thought was bad, whether I would recommend it to you or not, and if you are interested in any of the things that I discuss, you can find the links for the anime in the description down below. Yeah, go check that out, go check out what I'm talking about, because some of it was pretty good this season. And speaking of pretty good, let's talk about the first anime on my list, which had a decent first season, but slammed out their second season so hard I am genuinely upset that it's over. And that is Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, or Konosubarashi Sekai ne Tsuku wo.
我は万象将のことあり崩壊破壊の別名なり永劫の鉄槌は我が元に下れエクスプロージョン
So winter started with the second season. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the first, but basically the story is about Kazuma, a NEET from Japan who in one very random act of bravery decides to save this girl's life, and so as a reward for that he is resurrected in a fantasy world where he can relive his life again. But this fantasy world, the main premise of it is to defeat the Devil King. But before Kazuma decides to get resurrected, he can take one thing with him to help him on his journey, and he chooses the goddess who resurrected him, the lovely, the terrible Aqua. I mean, if you've seen the first season, you'll know why I say that. But yeah, then along the way, Kazuma meets other members who like Megumin, like Darkness, and obviously Aqua, and they form this unexpected party. The one thing I would say about this anime is that although it has an overarching theme, which is to defeat the Devil King, I just get the feeling that it's gonna go on forever. It reminds me of a Naruto or a Bleach in its episodic format. Like, I never want it to end. And so when it gets to 10 episodes in and the season's finished and they're like, you know, the little end card and like, bye bye, see you next season, I'm always like, what? Why? But what about, and who, and there, and why, and so many questions. Regardless, this is something that I do not regret starting up and do not regret watching. I feel like a member of this unexpected party, and I can't wait to see what weird adventures and odd things we're going to get up to next time. The last thing I would like to leave this segment on in this anime is to talk about the characters like Kazuma and Aqua and Darkness and Megumin, who, well, for the most part have lacked in any development. Like, I absolutely love that they are still pretty much the same from when they started in season 1. Like, their whole world is adapting around them, and yet they still have the same personality, they still act the same. Kazuma is still like the biggest like evil asshole out there, and I really enjoy that. Especially like if I met someone like Kazuma in the street, I think I would like punch them in the face. That was a terrible punch. Punch them in the face, that sounded better. Yeah, although I don't know if that's quite a good note to end this on. But speaking of good notes or not so good notes to end on, let's talk about the next anime. Masamune-kun No Revenge. Oh boy, what went wrong, Masamune? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
あなたたち、うちの前で何してるの？
新垣秋はその頃の俺にとって救世主にも見えた。あの瞬間までは。
あんたなんか好きにならないわよ。短足のくせに。
これは復讐だ、新垣秋。 俺はお前のことが憎らしくて憎らしくてたまらない。だからこそ全身全霊をかけて今のお前を恋に落としてみようと思うんだ。
To begin with, Masamune-kun No Revenge was the anime that I was most excited to watch this season because I love these dramatic, slice-of-life, romantic-esque animes, and it had all the potential to be that, and yet it delivered such a lackluster job of it. So lackluster. Oh my god. It follows a guy called Masame, who used to be this overweight young kid who fell in love when he was younger with this rich girl called Akadakiyaki. But she rejects him, and so spurned on by this, he goes away, he grows up, he loses weight, he comes back as this essentially hot guy, and he is looking to wreak revenge on Akadakiyaki for, you know, breaking his heart. This series started off really strong the first 4 to 5 episodes, but then, you know, you get further in and every episode's 22 minutes and you're like, God, I gotta watch all of this. Rather watch School Days. Nobody wants to watch School Days. Alright. I'm not saying that Masamune-kun No Revenge is a terrible anime. It's got its flaws and it also has its good points, but unfortunately for me, the bad outweighs the good in this case. I watched 12 episodes of this and I just didn't get the satisfactory ending or even a conclusion to much of the plot points in the story. There is this other character, by the way, called Fujinomiya, and at the beginning I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna add some spice to this, and then what happens is she ends up as a second-rate character whose story conclusion is just, it's like one of the worst. I can't even call it a conclusion because to this day I still have no idea why she goes after Masamune. None. And by the way, if you do know, can you please tell me in the comments below because I'm genuinely interested. Anyway, I also thought that Aki hates men so much that she, well, Fujinomiya, was going to get added into the anime to add some Yuri romance, and I was like totally on board with that, but in the end all we got was this mediocre beige romance anime that never quite hit the ground running in the way that I expected it to. And at the end of episode 12, I couldn't tell whether it was eluding me to hope for a season 2 or telling me, hey, you want to know what happens? Why don't you pick up the manga? And I'm like, I won't be doing that, not a chance. But I will watch season 2 if it comes out, and I hope that the next time it paces itself much better than it did this time around. But you want to know what's paced itself good this season? You want to talk about perhaps my favourite anime of the season? If I can just be so bold as to say, just the best, most charming example of how to do comedy and funny and slice of life anime correctly, and that is Kobayashi-san's Chino Maid Dragon, or Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I honestly could not tell you how much I love this. Let's just watch a little and then I'll talk about it.
久しぶりだから張り切ってますよ。なんてことだ、些細な過ちだ、自分のことにタララタラタってやつ、どうして突然逃げきたっていいでしょ。だけどなんだか気まぐれモードになり。
Here you have in relative terms a very dysfunctional family. You've got Miss Kobayashi, who must be older. I think she's in her 30s or something. And by the way, this is incredibly refreshing to have a character who is your usual cute, small, girly main heroine. It's lovely to watch that. And then you have Toru, who is the essential dragon maid. She's fiery, doesn't quite understand humans, but loves Kobayashi in probably most definitely a big way. It's so adorable to watch that kind of come together as the series goes on. But speaking of adorable, can we all just take a second to proclaim that Kana is best girl, absolute best child character in an anime ever. I'm willing to fight you for it. Put my hands up and claim that now. The characters grow up, they change and they develop, and in amongst the genuine laugh out loud comedic bits, you've got these lovely little emotional moments that pull you right back to what this anime is really about. Family and friendship, and how you can find your family anywhere, no matter where you are. It's just beautiful and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. If you've got some time today or in the near future and you want to watch a stellar example of slice of life anime, then Miss Kobayashi's Chino Maid Dragon is the anime for you. And we're done here. This first video back and we're done. I obviously watched way more anime than actually I talked about in this video. I didn't want to make it too long though, but if you're interested in the future of me talking about everything that I've seen this season, if you want to hear what I've got to say about all that kind of stuff, then let me know. The video will be about like half an hour long probably, but if you're interested in that, it's always good to get your feedback, so you pop that down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it, and I am going to end this with the way that I want to end every single seasonal roundup that I do, and that is with my favourite opening or my favourite ending from this season's anime. Now, I did upload this once before. I tried to use Claimers Fuka. It wasn't liked by YouTube's copyright, so what I'm gonna do is end it with my favourite ending song, which is kind of more appropriate for the ending of a video, right? And that is from Miss Kobayashi's Chino Dragon Maid. It's a very adorable song. I hope that you like it, and yeah, I will see you next time. But until then, take care. Bye.